two things I hate the most: spiders and being underwater. And this movie has both. Welcome to this strange three-way co-production monster movie. While set in Taiwan and featuring a cast of mostly Taiwanese actors, this movie was funded by the Hong Kong arms of iQIYI's video streaming platform, as well as their Beijing branch. And unlike all the other movies that we've seen in this series, this one was released theatrically. So that gives us a certain level of expectation, right? Let's hope so. Hi, I'm the Artie Dans and welcome to Monster Movie Madness, and we're going to take a look at Abyssal Spider, also known as Mad Spider C. And while accurate, both names are terrible. But first, for those a bit confused, like myself, about what the word abyssal means, it relates to the depth of the ocean bed, between 3,000 and 6,000 meters below sea level. With that out the way, I'm just going to announce that there is no way that these spiders are from that deep in the ocean. In a nutshell, because there is an excessive amount of unneeded story pollution in this movie, the crew aboard a fishing trawler in the Taiwanese Sea cheerfully celebrate their massive catch of fish, which from the footage seems to be about 20, but don't see that a massive spider is caught in their net. The spider then goes on to crawl around the trawler, stabbing people, but only the bad people, in the chest and legs, causing them to unexplainedly and slowly die of poisoning, which we'll get to later. Some notable side stories in this movie include the opening scene alluding to the dumping of nuclear waste as the cause of the creation of the massive spider, fellow crew members bullying the main character of the movie because of a previous sea accident that none of them were ever remotely involved in, but seemed to know all about, a former colleague of the main character who wants to beat his brains out, an obvious woman badly disguised as a flat-chested young boy who works in the kitchen, and I'm not touching that one further, a few references to a male-on-male rape scene that was probably removed by the Chinese censors, a very attractive woman who gets rescued and seems to trick the crew into telling them what they want to know, but is really a reporter investigating the nuclear waste dumping incident, and quite a few more hilarious ones, which will be fun to discover on your own. I was expecting a much bigger spider, and thankfully, due to my mild arachnophobia, that never happened. I'm very confused about this movie. Visually, almost everything you see on the screen is terrible. The acting is wooden and at times just really strange. The translation is poor to the point I feel like I'm watching a community service announcement TV commercial. And the storm and boat effects look like stock footage crossed with the beginner's guide to 3D graphics modeling. But the spider looks okay, and I can't work out whether it's because it's animatronic or not. It feels like a prop. It's well lit and moves like an 80s monster movie creature where it feels like someone off screen is controlling it. Hilariously, in the end credits, there are two people listed next to the spider's name, so that's enough evidence for me to know that this is a real prop. And then there's the music. It's utterly fantastic and doesn't suit this film. Whomever did the music did an excellent job, but wasted that effort on a flick like this. It's suitably cinematic at most times, adding much required tension and drama to scenes where visually it's just falling apart at the seams. There are a few actors in this movie that are well known to Taiwanese TV and movie fans. And viewers of Asian movies would certainly recognise a few of the actors in this movie, such as Andrew Lin from quite a few awesome Hong Kong movies like Infernal Affairs 2, New Police Story, and Robbie Hood, which I really loved. Jackie Chan and Louis Koo in a funny movie together. On top of that is a guy from The Rope Curse 2, who was terrible in that movie and is terrible in this, and another guy from the Guitar movies and the awesome TV series The Victims Game, streaming on Netflix. Check it out. I know who they are, and I am left wondering what the hell would have caused them to feature in this movie. This movie is trying really hard to be Taiwan's version of China's 2014 monster flick, Bugs 3D, but it's not quite there. That movie embraces its campiness, adding a spoonful of legitimately funny humour and a smattering of gorgeous women. This movie just has a giant spider stuck on a fishing trawler in the middle of a typhoon in the ocean. Not quite as exciting. So what's memorable about this? Well, it's seeing good actors make bad choices. Something strange happens in this movie every time somebody is attacked by the spider. They end up in this concrete walled corridor. As far as I know, boats and ships tend to avoid concrete due to the weight, so seeing a concrete hallway on a boat gave me flashbacks to the terrible asylum movie Titanic 2, where we see this massive concrete hallway on the ship. First I thought this hallway was to signify that the victim was hallucinating, because usually they end up dying here. But nope, the last scene of the movie that uses this hallway seems to firmly suggest the hallway is actually a hallway on this fishing trawler. Also, proper sea spiders don't look like the spider in this film, so it's clearly not a sea spider. It does look like a fishing spider, and for obvious reasons due to my mild arachnophobia, I'm not showing you what they look like. It was bad enough I had to Google it for this review. Certainly the appearance of this spider would suggest that perhaps that is the species. And finally, just because the spider is huge doesn't mean all of a sudden it grows the vocal capabilities to make squeaks and sounds. Or does it? I didn't love this movie, but I admired what it tried to do. It knew it was a bad movie, but it didn't quite embrace that status like other movies in the genre tried to do. It kept up the pretense of being a serious movie for far too long. For that reason, it gets a thumbs down. Movies like this need to, no must, embrace their campiness, and then ramp up that campiness to 11. If you've seen this, what did you think? Thank you for watching this review. Please don't forget to press the like button and consider subscribing to support my channel.